Hello, it's 14 May 2016. Can you imagine how fast time is going? Putin has just said if Hillary's elected, we'll destroy America. And there's one thing I know about the Russians. They don't have a sense of humor. And I have Medvedev and Sergio, the chief of staff, on my personal messenger. And I assure you, if you look up the stories, this is not a joke. The rest of the world is tired of being pushed around by those in Washington, D.C., the Unholy Alliance, Denver, London, Paris, Frankfurt, Rome, and Jerusalem. They're tired of it. If this wicked witch of the West, what the Russian leadership calls Hillary and her handlers, I think there's 4 of them now, is allowed to take office, they say there will be nuclear war. Either way, I've been told by a lot of people, like, well, I won't mention the economists' names, that we're going to look like Venezuela by September. There will be cuts in Social Security and VA. They will screw with us beyond belief. And there were just thousands of looters in Venezuela yesterday looking for things like bread, oatmeal, meat, chicken, and they opened fire on them. Hang on, folks. It could get a little rough. Venezuela's gone from 7 million to 40 million in I think it's 40 years since U.S. involvement in Venezuela. And they're just, the whole system's falling apart. They've gone into debt to create a huge welfare system. China bought the debt. They used the debt to buy the farmland. A third of their farm products are being shipped overseas. Venezuela can no longer afford to pay for welfare. So, a mom pops out 4 kids with 4 different fathers, pretty typical in America now. 1 and 2 women are raising kids on welfare. And suddenly the welfare runs out. What are they going to do? We're going to end up like Venezuela. That's why we pray. This is Russia calling a new military base in Romania a threat. Well, duh, here's the Assistant Secretary. We can't. The U.S. defend missile shield in Romania. If that man was serious, or that man was serious, they would stop the VA from selling military records around the world, and they would stop the technology of America from leaving America. They would have also reacted when I said and went to the ambassador of the U.S. in the Ukraine in May of 2007. Hey, there are 2 nuclear rods right here stolen from a Ukrainian reactor. That's 80 pounds of nuclear material, enough to make 2 15-kiloton bombs. Would you like to help me intercept it? And the U.S. ambassadorial staff set up yours. Get out of our embassy. I said, F you. I'm an American. But I was also an ambassador of another nation. They don't care if Iran has nukes. Russia does. They don't care if Saudi Arabia has nukes. Obama gave them over 50. They don't care if the Middle East has nukes. This man is lying when he says it's all about protecting Europe from nuclear weapons from the Middle East. That's what the U.S. does. They lie, lie, lie. They hire people like the Assistant Secretary, Robert Work, the Deputy Secretary of Defense, to lie. Openly, in public, in people's faces. Putin warns military commanders, if it's Hillary Clinton, it's war. He ordered the accelerated deployment of these. Remember the Clint Eastwood movie where there was a 6-pack of nukes? Each one of these contains 3 warheads. I think there's 4 of them. The United States says that these missiles have not been launched yet. What's that? Yeah, it looks like they're being launched right now. Now, we have aircraft that are anti-gravity. So what's this? This is a show. This is all a show. But it's a very serious show because that contains 12 nuclear missiles that will have a circular orbit over America. And he's going to launch one after another after another. He pushes a button and the nuclear missiles fall on the cities. They just fall out of the sky. They literally just fall out of the sky. Tell me we can't blow Nibiru to smithereens, if Nibiru even exists. That contains a payload of 12 nuclear weapons. And they're going to launch one every month. You say, well, why would Russia put nuclear weapons in synchronous orbit over the United States? Iran is here. Iran wants war. Look how close they put their country to our military bases. The United States has, as we speak, 2,639 U.S. and territorial military bases, 737 foreign military bases, and 98 temporary bases. This is Russia. Look at how close our bases are to Russia. Russia must want war. They put their country next to our bases, right? China must want war. The U.S., what do you say? Russia wants war. Look how close they put their country to our military bases. And now in Romania, here, we have huge number of nuclear missiles being sent in. NATO is looking at absorbing the Ukraine. When I was there, the reason NATO didn't absorb the Ukraine is because the power system was a mess. They've got major power poles falling over. Russia maintained the Ukraine. The Ukrainians can't mentally maintain the Ukraine. They're just not mentally there. When Russia replaces a brick in a road, they put it in with cement. When the Ukraine replaces a brick in a road, they put it in with sand. That way they can replace that brick over and over again. It's job security. These maps are coming from Global Research. Hundreds and hundreds of military bases overseas that you, the American public, pay for. You have to pay for these. Amazing, isn't it? Absolutely amazing. So the United States, as the world currency, just writes more and more and more checks to support the military bases. Unbelievable. Yesterday we sat watching a train go by a restaurant. The entire train was made up of, I guess, it's chemicals to make bombs. The United States is definitely on a war footing. It's got to come to an end. This is Venezuela. They're going in because they're hungry. They're looking for flour, chicken, even underwear, anything. They're hungry. Now, Venezuela has been harassed by the United States for years because they're one of the countries that, that refuses to come in line. Here's Colombia, here's Venezuela. Colombia, down in this region, is where the United States gets 90% of its cocaine to import around the world. And they generally are imported either to Mena, Arkansas, i.e. Bill Clinton, or through Buffalo Airlines. From here to Hawaii to here, Waco, Texas, or to Mena, Arkansas. Now, they burned down Waco, Texas. That whole thing about burning down the Branch Davidians was because they were tracking Buffalo Airlines. Remember the Mel Gibson movie? That was pretty true. Air America? That was pretty true. That was called Buffalo Airlines. Be ready, folks. Draw close to God and trust in Him. And watch His hand now go to work across the globe. It's time. It'll accelerate the 1st of June because I'm guessing that the world leaders will not do what they've been asked to do. So hang on, folks. It could get rough. Pray for your families and pray that the evil in America is flattened. Thank you very much. God bless and good night.